What's up, Zach? I'll be right back. Let me get. I can close my door over here real quick. Um, Update on Lodi's. I'll see if I can find out. I will see. Kyle, a bit of a heads up would be a nice one going live. Going to make a sandwich and we'll be back. TGIF, boys. I texted you before I even went live. I'll be right back. All right. Let me turn this. There we go. Okay. Dude, I gotta get a new charger thing. It's annoying. All right. Let's just exit out of that. Okay. All right. So let's see. Any update on Lodi's? Will he be in the lineup? I have not heard. We should see a lineup here in the next like 2 or 3 hours. So we'll have an idea. Again, everything I heard is that he could probably play the Friday. So I think it just goes to, I think he can definitely play if they want him to play. The question is, do they just want to not push it? That's what you're kind of waiting for. If he doesn't play, it's not because he can't play. I mean, he's taking BP, he's doing all that. It's just like they're being very protective of him, which again is a smart move. It's a smart move. Give everyone a little bit more time to get in here. Obviously, the Miami GT and WrestleMania this week. Oh my gosh. Obviously, the big storyline this week as well is, obviously A&M taking the game 1 from Arkansas. A team that looked like they were just down for the count to make a WrestleMania comment is, man, just playing really well. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so let's see. Let's see what games are going on right now. I don't know if any have started so far. When we talked about yesterday just the impact that the canceled Florida State Virginia series will have on Virginia's season, because Florida State's, they've kind of, they just finished the way they've played. They're going to be a national seed. Virginia, that was a weekend for Virginia that, like, if they get a series win, all of a sudden they're kind of in the driver's seat. Like, they beat Florida State. Now they're 9-9, so then they get to 11-10, and now they have 9 games left to get to like 17, 18 wins, which is definitely doable. But now it's going to be interesting to see how Virginia is judged by the committee. With them not, unless in some crazy world they make up that series, I just don't know how it'd be possible. Unless the only way it's possible is if both teams have. I don't know if it's going to be able. I don't think it'll be able to happen. It'd be like if they had 2 non-conference scheduled series coming up and like they were able to cancel that, but I don't think they would be able to. Yeah, and A&M's playing at 3. Virginia was going to lose 2 out of 3 for sure. May actually help them. I mean, definitely Virginia was picked to lose the series, right? It's just the again, if they win that series, it's massive. So but it goes both ways. You're right, Zach. I mean, they very, very well could have lost the series. So it maybe helps them out. I am back. Would be really surprised if Lodi's bat is not in there tonight. Yeah, I agree. I mean, now he's missed 5 games. So he missed Auburn last week, missed the weekend against Cal, and then missed the Georgia game on Tuesday. So, and he's taken BP pregame. So I was saying, Dusty, I mean, if he doesn't play, it's not because he's not ready to go. I think it's just because Georgia Tech's being like, listen, we want you to be as 100% as possible so that this doesn't get re-aggravated and all of a sudden you miss like the ACC tournament or even worse, part of the NCAA tournament or something. If Virginia beats Georgia Tech, Miami, and VT, that would give them 6 wins and 3 losses. So they would be at 15 and 12. Yeah. That makes sense. I laid eyes on him Wednesday. Saw him moving around. Yeah, I mean, Missouri's going to be 30-0 or 0-30. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what their remaining schedule looks like, and I don't even really want to look at it. But they are definitely, Missouri is just in a tough spot. What did you think of the umpire in the Bama LSU game? What's up, John? Welcome back to the chat. He made some pretty bad calls. That one on Justin LeBron, 3-2 count, 2 outs. I think with like runners on first and second, maybe it would have loaded the bases. That was a tough call. I think he just wasn't very good. Simple as that. But like Alabama didn't lose because of the umpires. You still got to make pitches, and you still guys got to put the ball in play and drive in runs. But the umpires, I mean, he was bad. He wasn't very good. I'll say that he wasn't very good. Does Schmidt make it back during the regular season? I don't know, dude. And the only reason I say that, I think definitely he'll be available. The issue is when you've missed that much time, the likelihood that you come back and you're hitting as well as you were before is almost 0%. So if Giesler these last couple weeks has really come on strong. He's hitting like 340. He's starting to drive the ball, home runs, doubles, having good at bats. So if Giesler's hitting like that, you're not going to take Giesler out of the lineup to put in a guy who's missed at this point. Like, it's over a month, I think, at this point. That's my thing with Schmidt is that even if he does come back soon, my sources, Dusty, are saying, I mean, it's a staph infection, and it's whenever it's cleared. It's not like in 3 weeks it's going to be clean, Yeah, I think Giesler. I mean, don't get me wrong, Giesler. His first couple weeks back in the lineup, he did not look good, and obviously he had missed a lot of time too. And that's the point. Like, he missed the first month of the season, and then when he came back, I mean, it was rough for a couple weeks. I mean, he's getting blown up by fastballs, just chasing stuff, and then he got his feet under him, and now he's playing well. So I just don't even see. The only thing I could see, and this will be interesting, is Parker Brocious at the bottom of the lineup has been by far and away the worst hitter in Georgia Tech's lineup. Now, he does add a speed element. He's hitting at the bottom of the lineup. But if somehow you can configure it, and I don't know how. Do you put Giesler in right or left field? I mean, do you put Kent Schmidt? I don't think Schmidt can go anywhere but first. And then, it's like, is there a way to get both Giesler and Schmidt in the lineup? Because Parker Brocious is the only bat right now that you think, okay, we could replace him. With how Giesler's hit, you're not taking him out of the lineup, especially in the last couple of weeks. You just can't. So it's either Schmidt kind of has to wear it and like be maybe a platoon situation type thing, or I don't know. I just don't think you're bringing. I don't think you're bringing Giesler out of the lineup. The only bat in that lineup that looks like it could be replaced is Parker Brocious. But then, are you comfortable having a non-outfielder in one of the corner spots? Because Parker Brocious on the year is hitting .255. He's got 6 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. Not driving the ball. He's got the most strikeouts on the team as well. Which, if you're a speed guy and you're not driving the ball, you cannot lead the league. You cannot lead your team in strikeouts. Now, he does have 20 walks in 110 at-bats, 130 plate appearances, so his walk rate's great, but the strikeout rate is just way too high for a guy that's not driving the ball. He is 14 of 15 in stolen bases, but he also has the lowest. He's got the worst fielding percentage on the team if you consider the fact that he's playing outfield. For the starters. So that's the thing that's going to be interesting to see is there a way to somehow configure the lineup? Because with Lodi's at short, you're going to have, the lineup is so deep, it's ridiculous. Works out perfect. The game is at 3 my time. WrestleMania starts at 6 tomorrow. Okay. If you look at this lineup, it's like you got Kent Schmidt, Kyle Lodi's, Carson Curse, Drew Burris, Von Lackey, Alex Hernandez, Caleb Daniel, John Giesler. Coupe's been really good in the few starts he's gotten recently. And looks like he's kind of platooning with Nisus in the DH spot. But again, when Schmidt comes back, maybe Schmidt just goes to DH, or you put Giesler to DH. There's the lineup's so deep, you're going to have a guy out of the lineup that you're like, man, we want him in the lineup. But yeah, so right now, Kent Schmidt's basically missed almost half the year. He's been 16 games. He's missed 16 games, which, if you do the math, if you go 4 games a week, that's a month. He's been out a month. So, and the funny thing is, if you look at his doubles numbers, he was leading the team in doubles when he went down, and 12 walks and 82 at bats. Like he was doing really well. So I don't know. I'm not hearing much on him. I can't believe. It's unbelievable how bad Missouri's playing in conference. It's really hard. It's really hard to believe that they're just. They're so far below all the other SEC teams. It's insane. That's the thing about Georgia Tech. Their lineup is so deep, you can survive a couple of injuries to key players. Miami can't survive a couple of injuries. Yeah. Look at what Caleb Daniel did, right? Caleb Daniel was not starting at the beginning of the year. Caleb Daniel has started 31 games out of 37. Those first couple weeks, he wasn't in the lineup. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember who it was that went down. But he started, or actually, really, it was. It was right when he was kind of getting some at bats, and then right when Kent Schmidt went down, they put him in the 3-hole, and he just went off. Wonder who would be the Mizzou. I wonder who would get the Mizzou job next year, and who would actually want it. That's the issue, man. As of right now, that's just a dead end job. That's a dead end job. That's the issue. He was sick the first couple of weeks. Fake news. True. I forgot about that. You're right, Dusty. He had like mono or something. I can't remember what it was. And if you asked any of the coaches about Caleb Daniel in the fall, I think he led all the fall hitters in OPS. So he was that good in the fall too. But Dusty's right. He was sick. The season's been so long, I forgot about that. Missouri will be highly coveted. I disagree with you. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, it has the SEC moniker, and sure, they're gonna get somebody. But I'm just saying, if you're really, if I was in the position to take it, you'd have to have some serious commitments from the administration if I'm going to Missouri. I mean, it's just like, we have to compete. We have to get guys out of the portal. We got to get. You would just have to have some. You'd have to have a really good contract, right? Like, give me a 5-year deal, so I can really try to build it. Because I guarantee, if they're trying to get a 2 or 3-year deal on a guy, I don't know who's going to take that job unless the only person you're going to get is someone who's desperate, and that's not someone you want. Oklahoma is beating Missouri 4-0. I don't know what Missouri's stats look like. Like, that's what I really want to know. And the other issue, hearing some buzz about a former player interested in GT head coach, gentlemen, since we last talked. Kyle, well, who we got? I'm trying to think right now. Missouri's team ERA is a 9.08. That's how you lose. That's how you lose every game in the SEC. You give up 9 earned runs on average, over 9 earned runs on average. Out of the last 4, Jason Andrew Veritek. Oof, that'd be an interesting one. I was, you know what? I don't know if it was me and you, Dusty, talking about this. I think it was. I was talking with somebody, and they brought that up, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he wants to go out and recruit and do all that, but maybe he does. I mean, usually the guys that have had a really good big league career he's a big league coach with the Red Sox. Usually they don't want to. They kind of like what they're doing, but maybe not. Maybe that's something he's interested in. Okay, so John, really, they're at 14 wins right now. If they get to 18 wins, they're a for sure host, so they don't have to win any of them. They just can't get swept. If they just go 1-2 the remaining way, they're 18-12. They're definitely a host. Now, if they get to 19 to 20 wins, they're probably a national seed. So that's kind of the magic number. It's 18 to be a for sure host. 18's a for sure host. 17, even at 17, they're probably a host. But the committee may knock them down for finishing bad, right? So that's why I think 18's where they got to be for a for sure host. And then anything above 18 in the ACC, I think if you're at 19 or 20 wins, you're a national seed. But again, I don't know. But they don't have to win any to be a host. They just have to not get swept the rest of the way. If they get 1 win a series. Fry is batting .364 with 11 home runs. Where are you talking about, Zach? At what school? Are you talking about the transfer at Mercer from Georgia Tech, Bradley Fry? Yeah, but Zach, like I told you, man, it's not all about RPI. Like RPI is one of the factors they look at, but it's not all of them. And again, when you have a conference record in the ACC of 18-12, like you have to be a host. Bradley Fry, yeah, yeah, he's balling, man, and he was a great player, a good player at Georgia Tech. It's again, it just goes to show why didn't he stay at Georgia Tech? Because he wasn't playing. He wasn't going to play. He was one of those guys. Listen, he had to come into his own, and he was never able. He got some at bats. His first, what is he, a junior now? He's a senior now. Okay. His first couple years, he would get at bats, but he could never win like consistent playing time. Brant Bachum's the other guy at Mercer. He's a Georgia Tech transfer. Everyone from Twitter Space is showing up to the ballpark for the first time ever. Only person not coming is Zach because he lives 7 hours away. Are you at the field right now, Canes? Was this a coup to physically harm me? Never. I had a seat next to me just for you, Dusty. The Jewish Canes section, F, would have took care of you. Only non-Jew in the section is me, which is actually crazy. Brant played at Gulf Coast last year, saw him play. Yeah, and again, it just goes to show how competitive it is now, guys, at like the Power Fours. You have guys who like can't get on the field as, you know, freshman and sophomore, and they go down to a really good mid-major like Mercer, and they're balling out. Give Poe Man my regards, please. The old Poe Man. But we will do a stream tonight. I'm hoping I can do it at least like by the middle of the game, Miami Georgia Tech game, so we can talk about it and everything. I will be watching from game one, from inning one. Don't worry. Kyle, will you and Dusty join the post game space tonight? Yeah, I'll definitely be in the post game space. I think, yeah, I'm sure I will. You got to ask Dusty though. It may be too late for Dusty. Danny Price asked his dad to hook him up with the ticket since his dad is a legend down here. Danny Price Jr., whose dad is Danny Price Sr., who was FIU's coach for 35 years, is a Miami fan and not an FIU fan. I'm excited for a night. I can feel it in the air. GT sweeps Miami. I think there's a good shot of that happening. Kane says no shot though, especially with the cheating we do at home. Ask Kyle about our cheating. Not anymore. And again, I'm not saying anything for sure. I'm just saying alleged. It's been alleged by many sources. Kyle, do you realize Alex Hernandez is going 348 for 10 homers right now? He's going to be a Team USA first round. Yeah. I think it matters. Like, where is his position though on the field right now? Because I think he's okay at second base. Like, is he third base? Is he does he end up going to be a third baseman? I think that's the only thing for me, but certainly the bat is just ridiculous. And what's really impressive about the bat is he's got like his walk to strikeout ratio is like 1-to-1. Yeah, I mean, he's got the build and frame for third base. I don't know. Again, from what I've seen at second, he's like fine out there. But he's got 27 walks to 28 strikeouts. Right? He's just been, 28 strikeouts and 160. I mean, Alex Hernandez has gotten even better as the years gone. It makes you realize how insane Burris was last year. Yeah. Because you look at this year and you're like, dude, he's really good. And Burris hit 25 and hit 381. Kyle, who on the current Georgia Tech will play in the major leagues? I think it's fair to say Burris got a shot. I'm going to say Burris, and Von Lackey for sure. I think Von Lackey because, dude, he is so good defensively. He's going to be at minimum, I think he makes it as a backup catcher because he doesn't even have to be a good hitter. Like, even if he just hits okay in minor league baseball, he'll make it up as the backup catcher. He'll be a payroll bandito, and, he'll play once every, 5 or 6 games. I think that's his floor. Like, realistically, that's his floor. Outside of that, it just becomes very difficult. Like, let's say with Caleb Daniel, I really like Caleb Daniel as a player, but he's not a very good runner, and he's a corner outfielder, and he doesn't have the type of power that they are looking for. I think he's a good hitter. I think he's got I think he's got a professional approach. Caleb Daniel, and again, he's got to prove that all the way up. So I just don't think he didn't really profile as a big leaguer, if that makes sense. And Lodi's for me, what the only reason I won't say Lodi's is because I don't think he's a shortstop at the big league level, at least not right now. And so that means he's going to have to really hit wherever they end up putting him. Now, I think he can make it to the big leagues as a utility guy for sure. I just don't think if you're talking I think he's got probably the third best chance out of the 3 I mentioned. As Danny Hall visits different AC Stadium on Spherical Tour, are the home teams honoring him? I guess we'll find out tonight, Professor Rosenthal. I'm not sure, though. I didn't see anything at the Stanford series. So I'm assuming they will, but I don't know. Arizona State is my team, but I'm from Tennessee, so I also root for them. Okay. At least they won't play each other until regionals or super regionals. Thanks for the shout out, Canes Cats Heats 305. You'd have been in between me and Professor Rosenthal, Dusty, but instead, Poman will be next to us. Canes, is that Mike? Yes. All right, so let's look at some of these series that have gone on right now, that are going on right now. Okay. Obviously, Oklahoma is the game's already started against Missouri. Oklahoma's leading 4-0. They're already up 1-0 in the series. A&M wins game 1 on the road at number 2 Arkansas. They play here soon in about an hour. Ole Miss lost a game to South Carolina. Again, South Carolina, unless they just go 14-0, they don't have to go 14-0, but if they go, they got to go 10-4 the rest of the way now to be 13-17 and hopefully get in. We saw 2 teams at 13-17 get in out of the SEC last year in LSU and Florida. So if that's the number, and I think it's going to be that, I think that's the case this year in the SEC. Just because I think the league is even deeper now than it was last year. So South Carolina's got to just dominate the rest of the way, but they can spoil an Ole Miss's chance at potential host or super or national seed chances. Clemson is up 1 on Louisville. That'll start at 5. Looks like Oklahoma and Missouri are playing a doubleheader today, so we'll know if Missouri ends up at 0-18 in SEC play. Coastal and Marshall. Coastal's leading that series 1-0. First game of the Virginia Tech North Carolina series will be played in Blacksburg. Mike in the chat has been a Miami Hurricane season ticket holder since 1978. Woo! 13 years before I was born. Poe Man calls him an encyclopedia of knowledge. Well, that makes sense. TCU UCF. TCU is really just coming on strong and playing great in the Big 12 at 12-4. They have a 1-0 record. They have a 1-0 series lead over UCF. Cincy and West Virginia. West Virginia won a really close one last night. West Virginia is 32-4, and we talked about this. They're in a Power 4 conference. They are 32-4, and they're not a projected host. And I think what this is the issue, guys, is that, like we talked about last night, the NCAA wants to have like the whole country, the regions of the country covered. So the problem is there's so many good teams on the East Coast or close to it that even if you have the record and you have the performance, like some teams are just going to get left out. And it looks like West Virginia is going to be one of those this year. And unless they just continue to go on a roll. I mean, if they continue to just roll the rest of the way, their strength of schedule is killing them. I mean, dude, they're playing in the Big 12, though. I mean, I get it, the strength of schedule, but like every SEC, I mean, the Big 12, like, I don't know. I mean, I would run it differently if I was running the committee. You guys know that. Like 32-4 is 32-4. 14 of those games are against the Big 12 competition. Take what you will from it. Arizona, BYU. BYU is leading the series. So if Arizona State wins this weekend and BYU beats Arizona, Arizona State may be back in the top 25. First game of the Kentucky and Tennessee series in Knoxville will be tonight, 6:30. There's going to be some good ball on tonight. BRB, I am going to analyze what Miami needs to do going forward. A desperate team is a dangerous team. Oh. Don't tell Canes that. Georgia State, Southern Miss. Southern Miss leads the series 1-0. Wait, so A&M and Arkansas are playing a doubleheader tonight? Oh, A&M and Arkansas are playing a doubleheader tonight. 3 and 7 o'clock. Okay. Wait. Is the whole series postponed? It's saying that there's a game tonight at 7 p.m. with Florida State and Virginia. Let's check this out. Yeah, it's really weird, Dusty. I don't know why. I mean, Zach's saying their strength of schedule is pretty bad, but still, it's like they're 32-4 and they're 11-3 in the Big 12. Yeah, so I mean, it says on D1 baseball that they're playing tonight, but it says all events through Sunday are canceled on Florida State Seminoles Twitter. Okay, so that game is not happening. Auburn, Texas. Texas leads the series 1-0. LSU, Alabama. I think Alabama's starting to kind of come back down to earth. Really strange, West Virginia. Hopefully, we don't have another war tonight on the space. Really strange that the West Virginia is getting minimal love. They hosted last year, yeah. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's just one of those things where I'm looking at Oregon State's a projected national seed. They don't even play in a conference, and their record. Yeah, that's what I thought, Zach. D1 Baseball hasn't updated it. West Virginia almost beat UNC in the Super Regional, I think. Was it a Super Regional? Even stranger, but I think you're right. Yesterday, they announced all FSU home athletic events are canceled for this weekend. Yeah, thanks, Professor. I just saw that on Florida State's Twitter, because on D1 Baseball's website, it had yesterday's game postponed, but it didn't have today's game done. So I thought, oh, something changed? I don't know. Give me Bama in the 8 Atlanta Regional. You want Bama in the Atlanta Regional? Let's consider this scenario, Dusty. Let's say this: Georgia Tech makes it to Omaha. Does that change things from the coach who you're going to hire? Does that change the perspective of Jay Batt if he's still around? If Georgia Tech makes it to Omaha, does all of a sudden he think, all right, I'm going after a top guy? Does that change things at all? Bama will go to Tallahassee. Y'all will go get stuck with Vandy. That's probably true. I mean, we always get stuck with Vandy, Tennessee, or Florida. We're always at, and it was Georgia last year, but that was the first time that had happened in a long time. It's usually, for years, it was if you're a 2 seed, you're going to Florida, Vandy, or Tennessee. Whoever's like the number 1 seed overall. That was typically who it was. And then if you're getting people in, Georgia Tech always has a really tough. No matter if they go as a 2 seed or if they host, they always have a pretty tough draw of teams because it's just Southeast just loaded with people. As far as 2 seeds go, yeah. Who would you like? It's hard to guess right now because, I mean, things could change so dramatically in the next 4 weeks. I mean, if Troy's not a host, I think we could easily get Troy. But then Troy could go to, like, if Auburn's a host. I mean, it's just like it's so hard to guess. Do you think players will demand JR get the job or threaten to leave like A&M? I don't know, man. I mean, I know for sure that Drew Burress is probably gone if James Ramsey is gone. From what I've heard. Like, that's just, I think he's very loyal to Ramsey. So I know that. I don't know about any of the other players, but that's from what I've heard. It's like if Ramsey doesn't get the job and he goes somewhere else, I think Drew Burress, it will not surprise me at all if Drew Burress ends up where he is. If we get Vandy in the regional, got to wheel Hedinger back out there. He got any eligibility left? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hedinger could throw. He'll throw a CG. It's not that hard to guess. D1 Baseball does it every week. Don't make me hope. Don't make me hope lives. I don't know what you're saying there. Well, let's look at their 2 seeds and that they have up on the website. It makes it just easier. Why does it take me 10 years to figure out where this is? Dusty, answer my question. My question is, if Georgia Tech makes it to Omaha, does that change the the baseball coach hiring strategy for JBAT or the athletic department, if Georgia Tech makes it to Omaha, do all of a sudden they go, does that change anything in your mind? All right, here we go. No, oh my God, it was right there. Here we go. No. There we go. Perfect. All right, which of these 2 seeds would I want? Let's see. We will not get Kansas State. We won't get Irvine. We won't get Oklahoma or Arizona State. We won't get West Virginia. Okay, so Bama's possibility. Southern Miss is a possibility. I don't even think NC State is. Troy's a possibility. I think it's probably, of course, if this is 100% accurate, I think it's either Troy, Bama, or Southern Miss. Where is Vandy in this? Okay, and Vanderbilt. Okay, that's the 4th one. I was like, I looked at everyone but the Georgia Tech regional. So I think out of Southern Miss, Vandy, Troy, and Alabama, I think you're wanting Southern Miss or Troy. But the problem is all the SEC teams that are going to be hosts. So that's why they will send an SEC team to y'all. Because a non-SEC host can't go to an SEC host. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. That makes sense. So yeah, that probably does kind of guarantee it being Alabama or Vanderbilt. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I guess it could switch around a little bit, but I think you hope for a mid-major as a 2 seed. Like that's just like Alabama's got a bunch of arms in the bullpen that throw mid-90s. Can you imagine if it's Troy? JR will be going for the jugular. Run it up, Herman. Leave no doubt. Coach Yo's voice. Remember the Titans, dude. How electric and dramatic would that series be? With what everyone knows, like, I mean, I had people last summer, and no one even. I think everyone kind of knew DH was getting close to the end, but no one knew like he was going to step away. And I think everyone knew kind of his contract was coming up, but like, no one you just didn't know what was going to happen. I could see Oklahoma also. I don't know. I think Oklahoma is too far. I don't think it would be Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's got great starting pitching. That's the only thing. I don't like that matchup for Georgia Tech because I think Oklahoma's got really good starting pitching. But I've been hearing for the last 2 summers, like I think it's guys who are not really connected to Georgia Tech, but are around the travel ball circuit and talk with a lot of coaches at tournaments would tell me like they think Skylar Meade's going to be the guy at Georgia Tech, right? It's either going to be him or James Ramsey. So can you imagine if Troy and Georgia Tech are in a regional battle? That would be, oh my gosh, that would be like the most exhilarating regional there is. 2 guys who are like vying for the same job, facing off at each other. Yeah, I mean, you really do. You want a 4 seed, like you do not want to. Really, what you want is you want a 4 seed that doesn't have like an ace pitcher. Like you want a 4 seed that doesn't have like a really good arm that can shut you down. So like if you're Georgia Tech, you don't really care who the 4 seed is as long as they don't have like a real stud on the mound on Friday. You really want what you really want is that conference champion that played just okay all year but happened to win the conference championship. That's best case scenario. But yeah, I think again, this is going to change. But I think from looking at all these teams, There's 4 possibilities for a 2 seed in the Atlanta. The potential of an Atlanta regional would be Southern Miss, Alabama, Vanderbilt, and Troy. We had that in 2011 when we hosted the regional and played some terrible team. Kyle and the boys showed up and forgot their bats, and we lost 2-1. It was Austin P. Yeah, I mean, my freshman year, I think I went into the ACC tournament hitting like 375, and I think we got eliminated in like 2 or 3 games. I'm telling you, from the beginning of the ACC tournament to the end of the regional in 2011, my average went from 375 to 340 in a span of like 8 games. I couldn't, like, I literally, and I had no strength left. Like, I was 100 degrees outside. I went into the season at 153 pounds. I think at the end of that year, I was like 145. Like, I just had nothing. I had no strength left after that season, at the end of that season. But 100%, our offense just fell apart in the regional. We should have definitely won game 1, and that would have set us up, even without Mark Pope. So, yeah, our offense definitely did not perform in the regional. Virginia Tech beats UNC this weekend. Okay, I don't. My only thing is that UNC's offense seems like they've figured it out. They've kind of their offense is kind of figured it out similarly to A&M, even though they've played way better than A&M before figuring it out. So I think I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but I think Virginia Tech definitely can beat them. Like, Virginia Tech's a solid team. What was the furthest you ever went? Regional. Next question, please. Yeah, next question. I'm pleading the 5th. In 2012, we had a lot of arms go down. In 2012, we would have had a really good team, but we had a lot of arms go down. I had a down year, but as a team, we still had a really good team. Our junior year, we had one of the best offenses in the country, and we had a really good Friday night guy, but we didn't really have enough pitching in the rotation after that. So our freshman year, me and Dusty's freshman year, was our best team for sure. And so Mark Pope was our Friday guy against Austin P. He had injured himself the day before, and he was trying to pitch still. And like, I think he threw like 1 pitch at the very beginning of the game in the regional, and he couldn't pitch anymore. So you're talking about our Friday ace, who's like a Golden Spikes Award finalist, just can't even throw the first inning. And it kind of like mentally, like, the whole team, you could feel it was like, oh, that's not good. You know what I mean? So that had an impact as well, because then it was like, well, shoot, this isn't good. We're gonna have to cover this whole first game of a regional with our bullpen. And Mark Pope was a guy who had like 7 complete games that year for us, like just ungodly year numbers wise. So that mentally was like, because I think as a team, everyone back then, I mean, you just kind of understood that. I think we understood the game better than a lot of guys do now. And I think the realization was that, like, we're going to run out of pitching. Like, we literally got no outs from our Friday starter, who generally gave us, I'll see here, he had 5 complete games in 16 starts that year. So like, he was a guy that you were going to get 7 innings a start. And so you lose him, you're like, all of a sudden you're like, that's not good. That means you have to go to Omaha this year if y'all make it. That's why Po-Man was snapping on both of them. He was like, "Who the F is GT?" That's Po-Man talking, yeah. Hey, we went to Omaha in 2006. Yeah, get it right. Get it right. Dusty, you want to know something crazy? If you look at the bullpen numbers from our freshman year, the only two guys with an ERA above a 3.38 were Brad Markey and Jonathan Roberts, who threw 5 innings and 3 innings that year, and they had 5 ERAs. The rest of the bullpen was under a 3.38 ERA. That's pretty insane. But all right, guys, I got to go now. I'll be back later, obviously, for the game, so just stay tuned for that. Have a good rest of the day. Canes, keep me updated with